If Mr. Salva Kiir cannot handle his business, how in the world is he able to handle South Sudan's business? How in the world is that even possible? If you as a man, as a person, as a human, decide to urinate in public with the full view of everyone, how in the world are you able to drive or steer South Sudan to a country that is actually going to be developed? It's ridiculous. If you haven't heard, the president of South Sudan, Mr. Salva Kiir, decided to wet himself in the full view of his country's public. The gentleman decided he needed to relieve himself in full view of everyone. And this was recorded on national TV, I think, as well. As you could see in the photos, it's really, really embarrassing for him, And somewhat feel sorry for him, because obviously if it's something related to his medical condition, and we shouldn't be making fun of this or fun of him. But it also goes to show that Mr. Salva Kiir is not fit to be carrying out any duties as regards to the presidency or to the leader of South Sudan. He's not fit at all. And if he were, he wouldn't be in full view doing all this stuff. If you're ill, for example, you send other people to represent you. Or you make amends to make sure that you don't actually embarrass yourself to this extent. But the fact that he knowingly decided to carry on his duties, knowing that he has issues with his bladder, or he was practically drunk, because normally drunk people do this stuff. They don't really care what's going on. It goes to show the disregard of the people of Sudan, of South Sudan. He doesn't really care, does he? The public image, it's critically silly. So, having said that, that's not even the news. The news is that he decided that every journalist that managed to comment on Mr. Salva Kiir's embarrassing situation had to be disciplined. And unfortunately, most of those journalists have disappeared. And this is the African way of doing things. If your president is embarrassed, so what you do, you take out the anger on the journalists. So the journalists have to suffer. So apparently some have actually been found dead. So journalists are arrested, journalists are killed, journalists just disappear. Just because a president decided to go into public view and urinate with all the cameras on him. How disgusting. So for anyone out there thinks that, I will feel sorry for Mr. Salva Kiir. No, I don't. To be honest, I don't. Well, he's probably ill, but he probably suffers from one of those biggest issues that African presidents have. The ego and the fact that they're the saviors of these nations. Mr. Salva Kiir, if you cannot handle your business, there's no way you're going to handle South Sudan business. You should retire and go away.